Party with Marty Abernathy. A show starring a binary trans woman born in the body of a non-binary atheist, trade unionist, equality advocate, and anarcho syndicalist that self-identifies as an unhinged fear pimp, outraged brigade commander, Breeze Peach police officer, SJW, and a bad faith agent of chaos.
I forgot how much I love that one. Anyways, thank you for all coming to the show. Everybody just getting in their seats. You can go to Tea Party Podcast if you want to support the show. Some Random Geek and David Skog and Jordan Joan P are already in the chat. I'm looking forward to this tonight. I'm not going to lie. Out of my face. I usually like something in my face like that, but I'm just trying to. I'm looking forward to tonight's show because we're going to be talking about Steven Crowder getting a taste of his own medicine. Like, shockingly so. If y'all don't know, Steven Crowder is not a nice person. But do me a favor first. Go to, if you're on YouTube, go and click the like button. It helps us. Subscribe. Oh, by the way, I can just do this, I think.
Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified when we go live.
But it's important to like as well. So, if you want to help out with the show, go to Tea Party Podcast. Support me on various platforms, social platforms, like my posts. You can go to Patreon. You can be part of the Patreon community, which apparently have decided they're going to call themselves Teabaggers, or maybe Teabags, on the Patreon server. That wasn't my idea. I'm not going to lie. But it was decided. So if you want to join that community, then hop on over to teapartypodcast.com and you can find you'll find the links to everything. More things than I can think of right now. And you can go to my Clapper if you want to. I haven't posted there in a while. But I also, I'm not going to go look now. But something that Twitter-wise that came up. This is actually, we're going to just boop. I wanted to point this out before anything else. You remember all those lefties like Peter Coffin that would sit there and say, shoe on head, we should give her a chance. Yeah, some leftist. She's really, 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 really become this massive leftist. You know, like this. Really? Yeah, really. Every country should put its interests first. Intervention, bad. Protectionism, good. Abolishing borders, cringe. Unifying a country's people with patriotism is good and cool, and we need a massive parade for things like the 4th. I'm talking about the obnoxious shit they do in China. So, Peter Coffin, man, you were right on point. Weren't you? God, you're so awesome. And so right. So on point. Oh. Yeah. This is Shoe on Head. Yeah. That great leftist creator. She's just awesome. Gotta love her. She's everyone's favorite leftist. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways. So, I don't know if y'all have heard, but Steven Crowder was on. He was on a show that he thought was going to be. Well, first I want to play some context. I want to play some context on who Steven Crowder is. This is the kind of shit that he does. This is Steven Crowder.
Man, sir, how are you?
Is this Steven Crowder?
Yeah.
Gosh.
I think you want a piece of me for a long time.
Here, look, I'll help you. I'll
let
take
you
your
continue.
poster outside for you.
No, I'd like you to keep it here for when the police arrive. But I would love it for when the police arrive, because that's actually evidence, so I'd like to keep it.
Yeah, and here's
I'm
Steven
just
Crowder.
looking for one condemnation. You animals.
Yeah.
Where do you work?
I work
Again.
Yeah.
in America.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
Yeah.
This guy's a fascist. Does anyone know that? As if you can't make that shit up.
What, you think you're saying we made this up?
Yeah,
You're saying that's a lie. We made it
I know
up.
that because I didn't say that.
Really? We could get the officers here.
I'm not
This
going
is
to
his
talk to
gig.
this guy.
You know
Thank
what?
you guys so
I'm going to talk with you. You'd like both of us to leave?
Yes.
Okay. Let's both.
This is what he does.
My son received death threats from this man.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
In his class where he's teaching.
Yes, I did.
And cause a disruption.
I did cause it. Yeah, I would call it that.
He would call it that. And here is Steven Crowder's. Here's his fucking timeline. Like Crowder confronts. This is literally his gig. This is what he does. This is how he makes his money. This is literally this or that. Yeah, that is how he makes his money. Confronting people, making fun of people, owning people. Right? And so basically Sam Cedar has wanted to debate this guy forever. And they were supposed to do it at a conference. I think it was Politicon. But Steven it wouldn't do it, basically. He said no. And yeah, so he said no, he got cold feet. So Sam Cedar kind of did this hashtag that was Crowder cold feet. And this is the story from Sam Cedar's side.
And then Jim wrote back, "All right, man. I know you guys are going to be pissed, but here it is, what we got out of Crowder."
This is the person that is putting together this this debate with Crowder and Sam Cedar.
Crowder said he has 4 million YouTube followers and Sam has 500K followers. We already up to now 650,000.
Growing fast, faster than Crowder. Wow.
Oh, my brain just told me to remember something. By the way, if we're on YouTube, and which we are broadcasting now live on YouTube, but if we get cut off the way we did with Vosh's stream, go over to Twitter. You can watch this on Twitter as well. You can watch it on Twitch. We'll keep going. This is why we go to multiple platforms. Is if we get attacked, they have to attack every fucking platform that we're broadcasting to. So yeah, remember that. But this is it wasn't for this. It was for Gavin McInnes's show. That's right.
And he didn't want Sam trying to ride in on his coattails of hard work, blood, sweat, and death threats, just to lend his notoriety to Sam, which would help Sam gain some of his followers. And Crowder hates Sam for some reason, so he doesn't want to help Sam.
I believe that part.
I do too. Now, the funny part is, now, of course, like,
Wait a second. Crowder's willing to lend his brand out to unknown college kids.
Well,
Imagine
that's the
what they
point.
could capitalize on.
I happen to know for a fact that there's never been a single college kid that Steven Crowder has debated that has even close to 4 million YouTube followers. In fact, I will bet that I have more YouTube followers than any college student that he has ever debated. And I would also argue that he probably, anybody that he was going to go on with on Gavin's show, and I don't know, has he appeared on Gavin's show? Why don't we look that up? Don't have much more followers than I do. Maybe by, I don't know, 10%, 30, 20%, but not 400%. Anyways, Crowder was supposed to be on our show last week, so this had nothing to do with Gavin. It's just Sam unpopularity with Steven. So it appears that Crowder wouldn't even go and show up on the show. What's that? He was on what?
Whoa. This is interesting. I don't know. This causation correlation.
Gavin
question on
tried
this.
so hard, multiple times. He tried so hard that now Crowder is mad at Gavin for pushing so hard for it to happen. I thought if anyone could make this happen, it was Gavin, but he could not convince him after multiple attempts to do it. We were fucking pissed. We think it's stupid for him not to do it and that it would go viral. I think with Crowder getting demonetized did not help things either. I'm not going to give up, but I figured for now it's not going anywhere. I would not be surprised in the near future if we get him to rethink it. We told him he is just as bad of the 19 out of 20 liberals that say no to Gavin when we ask them to be on. Hard to have a dialogue when no one wants to fucking talk to each other.
So hard.
Yeah.
So that's some of the context for this. And you have to understand that Sam Cedar has, he debated Charlie Kirk.
Because the left seems so adamantly opposed to the policies that have delivered us a 4.2% GDP rate, the lowest ever black unemployment rate, the lowest ever Asian American unemployment rate, the lowest Hispanic unemployment rate, the lowest veterans unemployment since 2001, a $2,700 average middle class tax cut, and the economy is so good, Obama's trying to take credit for it. And so, but Sam, can you give some credence to the idea that when you lessen government burden, you couple that with a massive deregulation, the largest deregulation agenda in 100 years, are you willing to give an inch to say that maybe something Trump has done has benefited the well-being of people in the middle class?
All right. Well, you keep repeating the same thing, and I keep explaining.
And it doesn't make it less true, Sam.
Well, it makes it. I'm explaining to you why it's irrelevant. Because, yes, there has been a trajectory where we have seen all of the unemployment gains that you've talked about. We have seen stagnant wages. That is a fact. The buying power of the middle class has dropped. You talk about rolling back regulations. Let's talk about that.
That's good. Let's talk about that. I'm glad.
I want you to name 3 regulations that have been rolled back that have helped the middle class. And I'll name 3 that have hurt the middle class.
How about rolling back Obama's war on coal?
Okay.
That has created hundreds of thousands of jobs throughout Appalachia and brought down utility costs in over 30 states.
What?
Pause.
But let's talk first about the regulation that you mentioned in terms of.
He did pause there when from this clip, and basically, the number of jobs is like in the thousands, not in the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. It's literally in the thousands. So his numbers, Charlie Kirk's numbers were off by a long shot.
The coal-fired power plants. This will cause 3,600 deaths, 90,000 cases of asthma, 1,700 heart attacks. The expenses associated with this are in the hundreds of millions of dollars. The mercury and air toxins rollback will cause 11,000 deaths annually. The asbestos rollbacks will cost up to 40,000 annual deaths.
So basically, I mean, Sam's not afraid to go and debate these people. He also debated Tim Pool, which Tim Pool kind of made an ass of himself.
If that's the outcome. But I'll tell you something you're not going to want to hear, and I admit it's I'll call it dickish. Utilitarianism is typically the villain in most movies.
I don't care.
Yeah. So for instance, like Thanos was utilitarian, and Captain America was deontological.
I didn't.
So Thanos willing to reduce the suffering by killing hundreds of trillions versus the thousands of trillions, which would be living better off. So
But I'm not
comic book movies.
I'm not having to kill anybody. I'm just voting and choosing.
I mean, if you vote in favor of somebody who's going to build a concentration camp, you are.
No, one of these people is going to win, Tim.
Okay, so that is the context for all this, right? So basically, Crowder has this history of basically they aren't debate bros, they are own debate bros. Because that's the whole point of doing what they do. If you see the poster that I put up for the show, you see the meme of Crowder sitting at a table and going to college campuses, basically sandbagging kids on college campuses with his rhetoric that he has pre-planned and making videos of it. So he basically makes a fool out of people by attacking them. Surprisingly, he comes in just like the first video I played. He comes in with his microphone, puts it in their face. So witness this show that he was on. I've never heard of before. But this guy, Ethan, that runs this podcast or YouTube channel, agreed to be on the show, and this is what happened.
If that's the outcome.
Welcome everybody to a very special episode of the H3 Podcast. Today is my first ever debate against the one and only Steven Crowder, who thank you very much. Thank you. Steven Crowder.
Stand up.
So that is the show. Basically, and he's going to give some more context for what happened.
I will invite you on the show, Ethan Klein. I will have I'll follow you on Twitter. I will have Darren, my booker, reach out where you can come on this show.
Darren's his dad, by the way, right? Just say your dad, bro. He keeps trying to hide that it's his dad. You guys will get more info about the dad. But Darren's his dad.
We usually go after political figures, authoritative sources right on this show. Usually those are the people who we have to debate. Change My Mind is not a debate, but we've had politicians, scientists, Pulitzer winners.
He tries to make it out like he's some great debater, yet like literally a lot of the stuff he does, it's gotcha politics, and it's like literally owning people. That's it.
Every now and then, a layup crosses our path.
So he's calling this guy a layup.
We just kind of.
By the way, notice that his shirt says "Fight like hell." This is what actually happened.
I'm deeply offended, though, at the bullying portrayed, and I take absolute cross with that. And Dan had this one moment that actually went a little bit viral. And
this is where he's talking about the fact that their history of trying to get on the show.
Political community that Steven notably ignored during our tit for tat. I'll play it for you here. And this is where I'm leading to.
A lot of people, but just because I feel like there's a decent chance Steven Crowder will see this, and this will be the only time that I get to say this. Debate Sam Cedar, dude. Stop being such a pussy. I know that your dad doesn't want you to. But that was a long time ago. That was you're 3 years older now. It's time. It's time to debate Sam. So
and notably, he doesn't include this. He watches the whole clip, but not the debate Sam Cedar.
Weird, he didn't cover that part. He went into a lot of detail on everything else.
Oh yeah. Oh, exhaustive detail. Now, who is Sam Cedar? Sam Cedar is the host of a political left-leaning show called The Majority Report. Has 1 million subs. He's a big channel. Crowder famously backed out of a scheduled debate with Sam at
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is what I showed you from Sam's show.
Politicon, earning him the name Cold Feet Crowder at the behest of his dad. Sam secretly recorded the phone call with the organizer of the event who exposed Crowder. Here's the call.
Yeah, that's a real shame.
I think you're bigger. Yeah, I don't know what his team is doing around him, and that's just for me to speculate at this point. I don't know.
He has a team. He has a whole team, and he won't do it. He can bring the team.
I believe it's his father, but I can't confirm or deny that.
By the way, everyone seems to be affirming that it's his dad doing all this shit behind the scenes somehow. So people speculate that he actually backed out of the debate because Sam is actually, an informed, good debater, and they were afraid that, Crowder would look like an idiot. And so he backed out at the last minute at the behest of his father. The thing is, he's happy to challenge me.
Coming up here is going to be the actual what actually happened, and I will say, not a trigger warning, more like if a lot of people talking over each other, because it was hard for me. I have some issues that way to listen to it, but just try to get through it. And I'm just warning you right now.
Somebody that has no political, very little.
Basically, there's a lot of yelling back and forth.
Don't spend my day talking and thinking about politics, nor am I a debater, nor am I, let's be honest, intelligent.
The guy knows exactly who he is.
Sophie, right? Let's be honest. So with all that being said, we figured let's get someone who is familiar with the topics, who does spend their time thinking about politics, and who is, unlike me, smart. So we've got a little surprise for Steven Crowder. So
I love this because, again, he's Crowder set this guy up as his layup.
Let's all enjoy the debate.
Like the shtick that you're only capable of. Right. What we were going to talk about is, the initial quote that happened. I think he's looking off there. Right. So what we were going to talk about is
eyes for Steven Crowder. So let's all enjoy the debate.
Like the shtick that you're only capable of.
So basically, here we go. This is
yes.
All right. So what we were going to talk about is the initial quote that happened. I think he's looking off there. The initial quote that kind of was turned into a little bit of a meme, which wasn't intentional, and was you saying you don't even have to think about it regarding the CDC. And I disagree with that. I think people should think about it. I believe. And we talked about this through playful ribbing and an aggregation of medical authorities and scientific voices to make an informed and rational decision. So where do you think that I'm wrong on that?
Stephen, do you know that the Spartans are like practice man love with children?
Oh, geez. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. What did I tell you? He was going to do anything he could to avoid. Oh, there he is. Oh no, Sam Cedar! What a fucking nightmare! I had no idea this was going to happen. I thought Ethan was a stand-up guy. This is where we are. Yeah, I told Dave. Remember I told you? I said this is. I guarantee you, he's going to do anything he can to avoid the debate.
Oh, I just think he believes that he should debate you.
No, he doesn't. He just takes advantage of women with mental health issues.
Steven,
Ethan Klein doesn't stand up and do his own
I
fighting.
gotta say,
It's just hilarious. Let's bring on the FM.
You would do anything to avoid talking to me. I think the point that you made.
Yes,
that's include Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan and Dave Rubin and Jordan Peterson and Noam Chomsky and Sam Harris. Everyone's been avoiding.
Not just attempting to get your audience by jumping in.
Well, I debated with Charlie Kirk. Stephen, I mean, It's about issues. Let's
about
talk
issues,
about those
yeah.
issues.
That's what you're doing
some
here.
Valid
Yeah.
points.
You're
that
so
I think we
clever.
should
I had no
discuss.
idea that you were taking your show off early last time, coming in today with your pig pen peanuts eyes.
I wish every.
You take those off for the velveteen buttons?
We must have been
Black
very
eyes,
worried about
aren't
this,
they? Like-
Stephen. I don't.
First off, the velveteen button thing is a reference. It's a reference to him being Jewish. So yeah,
I don't know why.
No
it would
one's
be,
worried
oh,
about.
this guy can't help but be a bigot.
So
Sam,
That literally is his shtick.
want to
well,
do
let's have a
Sam,
debate.
come
If
on.
no one's
I'll tell
worried,
you what. I
let's
have a
do
general.
this.
I have a general.
This is a
rule.
great
I
opportunity.
don't start a
to-
debate based with people on a lie. And how about you get to
He doesn't have debates based on a lie. He literally, that's what he does. That's his shtick. That's what he does. That's what his channel is full of. He just can't believe that he just got fucking fooled the way he fucking fools other people. He just got owned.
sabotaging.
How about you get
Steven,
to a
show
30th of
yourself,
the
you
audience
coward.
share?
Steven, show yourself.
30th
Don't show
of the
your
audience.
co-host.
Ethan, you should show
Steven,
yourself.
Ethan, how can you respect yourself as a man, brother?
Steven, Steven, you are such a coward. Stop showing your little leprechaun co-host who comes out dressed like your
Ethan, come on,
sidekick.
Ethan, why do you have to bring on a
Show
guy who has
Steven.
a 30th of the viewership?
Why is this the saddest thing I've ever heard? So you have a
Just
guy
show
with
Steven.
less viewers to come on to debate him because you can't?
Well, obviously, if I'm a layup and not a debater.
Well, look, you're the one who called. You're the one who got
He's the one that got angry about
Show
it.
Steven. Don't be
Hold on
such a
second. All right,
coward.
hold on a second. Let me hear what Pigpen has to say here really quick.
Fair enough.
Show
But
Steven.
Ethan, look, I don't. Hold on a second, Ethan. This is because initially I came on here to talk with Ethan. Ethan, come on, man. Look, the same reason that I haven't ever had a conversation with Sam Cedars, the same reason that Joe Rogan, Sam Harris, Brett Weinstein, Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro don't own anything. It's based on a lie, Ethan. Just
What's
like
the
you
lie?
claiming my Ethan.
What's the
you
lie?
claiming my
What's the
booker
lie,
reached
Steven?
out to you, Ethan, when you
Steven,
know that's
what's the
not
lie?
true. There's no
What's
one
the
ducking
lie?
you,
Why are
Sam.
you
Like literally, Ethan went back and looked, and he does. This is how he learned that Steven Crowder's dad is his booker and his producer. This isn't a secret now. In fact, I found it in the Sun. If you look up who is Crowder father, it'll take you to take you to a page where it actually says that he's the producer of Crowder's show. And literally this woman verified that he had been offered a place on Crowder's show, and she was the one that had offered him that.
Never afraid.
Sam,
Listen, I think you're a smart guy.
I can call out Mike
I don't
Tyson.
understand why
it doesn't mean that I'm
you are
ducking him.
so worried about this.
Why do you
I
feel that?
honestly
Why do you
don't.
feel that anyone, Sam? Why do you feel that anyone owes you airtime when you have a 40th of the audience and you've been doing the
I
show?
don't think anybody
for 10
owes me
times as long?
airtime.
Why? Like literally, what? Like Sam said in this previous clip, the kids that he got on college or in these other spaces, they didn't have a fucking show. It's all about how useful you can be for his numbers.
I think that Ethan has just given it to me. I didn't ask him for it, and
Right.
so
No, you've been begging
the
for
real
it for a long
question
time
is,
with everyone
Steven,
bigger than
why
yourself.
Are you so
he found
worried
you
about
can't build an
engaging with me?
audience, and so what
Why
happens is
are
he
you
uploads
so
15
worried about-
times more,
Do you think
has
your
less than a
audience
50th of
says-
the audience.
Well, that's
Do
why
you
he
think
wants to
that your
debate you, is so he
audience-
can build his.
Sam,
Do you
Sam,
think
come on.
your audience
Yeah,
cares
yeah.
that I only have 1 million subscribers and you have what, 6 or 7 million
I think.
subscribers?
Let me answer. Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question?
Sure.
You want me to answer your question? My audience would say Sam who? Just like Joe Rogan's audience and Ben
Well, now
Shapiro's
they
and
all
Dave
know
Rubin.
who I am.
Now they
You
all know
just
who you
introduced
are
me.
because you had to
Your
shoehorn
audience
yourself into
watches
another coward
yourself
show.
into
College
another
students,
show.
every day that you do that,
Why are
change
we-
my
Hold on a
mind.
second. Hold on
They
a second.
don't know who those college
This is another
students
lie.
are.
This is another lie.
What possible
Let
difference
me
would it be?
clarify, Sam. Let me clarify, Sam. To change my mind, everyone knows on the show, right?
Yes.
We've had
How did
professors
you know
on the.
I ended
This is
my
what-
show
he's not
early
gonna talk.
last week, Stephen? If your audience
Because
doesn't
you're
even
an
know,
he just owned himself. He like literally owned himself right there. Because basically he was saying, yeah, well, Jordan Joan P, yes, Steven Crowder is afraid to debate Sam because this is some person, like I showed before, that's actually debated conservatives. And literally his rhetoric, it's all about being owned. It's all about domination. But when he realizes that some random geek says this is gish galloping and sea lion tactic. And yes, but this is important. This is important because, and you get people that I'll talk about this more in a minute.
Idiots, and half of your staff doesn't like you
because I'm a diehard fan.
Yes, it's
half of your staff doesn't.
Because he's a diehard fan.
If you're
I've
a
heard of
diehard
you,
fan,
but I just met you.
Why not?
Congratulations, Sam Cedars fan.
Steven,
David Skog says it's not a debate. Crowder is a charlatan, and this just like literally shows how much of a charlatan.
He's a huge fan.
I will talk
right now,
about
every
the
time I
issues
try and
that
talk,
you
you're
want to talk
interrupting,
about,
Sam.
Steven.
Right now, I'm trying to talk with you. You're interrupting, Sam.
You bombarded the show.
Okay,
You
go
bombarded my show under a false pretense. You claim that
bombarded. This is literally the guy that's made a living, made a name for himself by popping in and fucking surprising people and catching them off guard. This is his gig. He's just pissed that somebody else is doing it.
just like you claim that I ducked a debate with you under a false pretense. Have I ever?
That is what the Politicon people told me.
Oh, is that what they told you? Well, so you're just lazy with your research?
And if big tech is,
you continue with the lie. You need to research and say.
He's not lying. Like literally, I showed you where, like, in a letter that Sam showed on his show.
Did Steven ever accept?
They said you were.
Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you. Let me explain. Hey, whoa,
Sam, and you literally
Sam, sweetheart, Sam, fake stand-up comic who we can't find any footage about online. Let me finish.
I'm not a stand-up comic.
Oh, you're not? Okay, that makes sense because everything that I've seen is incredibly unfunny and unentertaining, which may explain the audience.
Irony alert, Steven.
Comedian.
How much have you watched of my stuff, Steven, that you think that your audience wouldn't appreciate our discussing things?
Samuel, can I answer your question?
Yes.
So you have gone on, you've done the same thing with other comments. Everyone has a bigger audience than you because you said, I want to speak with Steven Crowder. You believe that at some point there was some acceptance? When have I ever done a Politicon? Ever? As a matter of fact, in the last decade, I haven't done a single political conference. I hosted CPAC for 4 years and stopped because they suck. They don't pay and they're full of losers.
What about
and you've been clamoring for it, and it's a lie.
Told me that you dropped out of doing his show because
this is just hearsay and gossip.
How can you
I've never met more of a woman.
Career when he wants to keep debating.
I don't know. All right.
Let's talk about the issue.
So, Ethan, do you want to have a conversation, Ethan,
about the vaccine? Because
Ethan, do you want to have a conversation?
So Sam wants to have a discussion about what he was going to talk to Ethan about, right?
Going to hide.
Absolutely, I do.
Big tech. So why are you hiding behind Sam Cedar?
No, me and Sam are aligned. I'm not hiding. He just,
well, you're just a liar. So you're a liar. Because remember we said, hold on a second. I mean,
You're just a liar. You're just a liar because you sprung this on me. Can you see how butthurt he is? This is amazing.
It's you ridiculous. Guys are the ones who are hiding.
Really? No. This is actually
who snuck in on you?
Who's the guy who never appears on stage, never does a live show,
but is
never even allows a shadow of comedy to be perceived on his program. It's just hiding. Right. Everything we do is out in the open.
Yeah, because he does a political show.
H3.
Steven, you're wearing a holster.
We agreed.
So what?
Hold on a second. Yeah? So? I want to normalize responsible gun ownership. Is that your debate? No wonder you had to bring in a hack for you.
Well, no, you're talking about comedy.
That's
I mean,
a debate strategy.
that's
Right?
not very funny.
You have a holster, bro.
Also, your
you have a
sponsor
holster. And he takes advantage of mentally ill women for a show.
It's about gay boy love.
Okay.
All of it.
All right, Sam. You got it. You got it. I hope you have a wonderful highlight reel.
Hold on. Let me just make one point.
Hope you enjoy Politicon.
Hold on. Let me make one point, Steven.
Take it easy.
Steven, don't bail.
Guys. I appreciate it.
Don't bail, you coward.
Hey, Sam, one thing before I go. Can you take off your glasses?
Steven,
hold on.
One thing before I go.
I just want to see. We just want to see.
I just want to see if you take them off. If you have the Velveteen Rabbit buttons. That's the only thing I'm curious about. It's the only interesting part about it.
Or if there's a soul.
Let's debate.
Take off the glasses.
Let's debate, Steven.
Don't hide behind the glasses.
Don't say let's debate, Ethan. You've lost.
Debate
the issues. What does it matter who you debate, coward?
All right, good. You guys are good. Thank you.
Coward.
Won't even take off the glass.
So yeah, so literally, like he just got. I mean, like I said, I apologize.
I was right.
All right, yeah,
you can
run away. You run away twice. Cold feet again.
Come on, Steven.
Wow. Wow. Dude, I can't believe he admit to following.
He admitted that he followed the show last week.
We got him.
He admitted that he watched the show last week.
We got him.
Early.
Dude, we played him so hard because he literally was following. He saw that you went live, dude. We fucking got him.
Oh my God. We fucking nailed him.
Holy shit.
There's a bit more here, I think.
So do you want to respond to here? You want to throw him up, Dan? Yeah. Do you want to respond to anything he said now that he's not talking over you?
Well, I mean, look, he's obviously lying about the idea that he wouldn't want to do a debate with me because his audience wouldn't know. Here's a guy who literally tracked my show last week because he was afraid that this would happen. Here's a guy who claims to have watched, I don't know what it is he said he watched, but he's not worried about audience not knowing who he's debating because he sits down with random college kids and sandbags them on their campus.
Exactly. That is his gig. That's what he does. That is who he is. And the fact he just got...
I was looking forward to it because I really wanted to
irony, right? As you've pointed out, is that he's the guy who got famous for with the debate me. You can't, if you're the debate me guy, that's your claim to fame. You can't dodge people that want to debate you, Steven. You gotta own this thing that you create, this image you created. Stop being a bitch. Stop being a baby. You're like, come on, Steven.
And that is exactly. And it's funny to watch on Twitter the response of the right. I'm going to put this down for a minute. If you look, this Michael Knowles, who's a right winger that I believe, says, I'm not familiar with this non-S Crowder people in the video, but they seem like real jerks. The conservative sits down for a good faith debate. The guy, Steven Crowder, good faith debate. The lib lies and tries to cheat. How many times have we seen this sort of thing? Oh God, it's so. And I said they don't care about hypocrisy. I mean, because this guy basically posted a screenshot of what Crowder does. I don't know how many times we've seen this sort of thing. I said they don't care about hypocrisy. I mean, a brilliant point, but the only thing that matters, that only matters if they're debating in good faith. They're obviously not. It's all about the ponage. They aren't masters of debate. They are cringe/outrage farmers. Adam. Oh God. Yeah, exactly, Adam. like he is claiming to have some sort of honor or integrity. Exactly. It's so rich coming from these people. And if I'm going to click on this tweet, but some of these are just golden. It's a debate on YouTube, not the Supreme Court. All Stephen had to do is say whatever he was going to say to Ethan to Sam instead. But he knows that he wouldn't be a fucking layup. Steven says he has a hard time getting leftists on his show. Sam has over 1 million subscribers, yet he hides and ducks from him constantly. His excuses on why he won't accept a debate with Sam are ridiculous. Steven even admitted to monitoring Sam's show during the convo, which is what we saw. And this person says, and I'm just curious, can I? Yeah, that's it. That doesn't really tell me much. If Crowder was prepared to argue in good faith, it wouldn't matter who is across the table. The arguments would stand on their own. Because Crowder argues in bad faith, he resorted to personal attacks and he ran away rather than discuss the issues with someone prepared to refute him. Someone that does a show daily and has done a daily show like this. God, I don't particularly like Sam all the time, to be honest with you. But he's done this since Air America, which was 2006, I think, 2005, 2006. He's done it every day, and he does politics. So yeah. This person says facts are facts. If he is correct in his position, he should be willing to debate anyone. He doesn't have an issue debating a random college student on their way to commissary. What has Sam done to strike such fear into his heart? Actually have facts. I mean, that's the bottom line. And I love this person here. I had to comment. I said it does matter who Stephen was debating with. He was invited under a false pretext. Like literally, Stephen Crowder is a false pretext. So yeah, hilarious, fucking hilarious. And reading these comments was even more fun because you could tell the only people that were literally sticking up for Crowder in the comments were the people that were obviously stands, like this lady here. It was not in good faith. That was glaringly obvious. Like literally, you're accusing someone that has made their whole shtick be about fucking surprising people. So anyways, it was just, and this is more to the point, it was not in good faith. Crowder was looking to humiliate Ethan in order to feel superior, and Ethan was looking for a way to humiliate Crowder for exactly the same reason, and he succeeded. And I think so. I think anybody that's not a hardcore Crowder stan is going to see that. So reading the comments in here was just, it was an exercise in just seeing it was just seeing how people can stand for other people. But it reminded me, and I bring this up quite a lot. I gotta play this. Tim Pool was all pissed because Sam and he actually made a video, and this is what he was complaining about. This was after this incident. Tim Pool made this and posted it.
He said that he couldn't do it because he hosts his own show. He did mention COVID, to be fair. But then
Sam couldn't do Tim's show.
Turns it into this tweet where he's coming after me, implying we were unsafe when we followed every COVID guideline. We have hand sanitizer everywhere, and we were allowed to do the show as per normal guidelines. The room is extremely well ventilated. You can probably hear the fans. But Sam thought it would be good to lie, to make things up, because he never wanted to come here in the first place. And even after he knew it was in studio and the 13th is open and we will pay for everything, and he agreed to do it, it was all just a big con. Sam Seder is a lying coward. And that's why people like Steven Crowder should not debate him. And that's why Steven was right for cutting him off and saying no. And Ethan Klein is damaging everything, making it all worse, because his interest is personal gain for his pop culture crap. He doesn't know what he's talking about, so he would rather watch people suffer if it gives him a few extra bucks. That's Ethan Klein.
Did you hear the last part? He's saying Ethan's a grifter. Temple.
He doesn't know what he's talking about, so he would rather watch people suffer if it gives him a few extra bucks. That's Ethan Klein.
You know what, Timmy?
The funniest part about that is literally,
he said that he couldn't do it. His interest is personal gain for his pop culture crap. He doesn't know what he's talking about, so he would rather watch people suffer if it gives him a few extra bucks.
Tim Pool, the guy that literally goes around, this is literally his shtick. This is what he does.
That's Ethan Klein.
He is a fucking grift. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. This whole thing, watching the debate bros, and the thing that you have to always remember with these people is they are not honest debaters. They're not coming to this with integrity. That's not about debate. It's literally, they basically took what Rush Limbaugh did and made it for young people. He basically brings people into his arena and sets the rules. And so the people that agree to come on a show are basically trapped, or they agree with him. Either or. You either go get these, just like Crowder, you go get these layups, or you have people that agree with you. These people don't want debate. The one thing that you could say, at least for Charlie Kirk, I mean, you may disagree with his politics, but he was willing to debate Sam on issues. I haven't seen anybody else. Adam Rainstoffer says, these people are so sad. If you give a fuck, do something. If you're looking to make a career out of performative giving a fuck, stream and do debates online. See, that's the thing, though. This is exposed so much of the right in that in how they literally come across. Sitting there saying that Steven Crowder, it was so unfair. It was so unfair that someone came and surprised him, and it was Sam Seder instead of Ethan, instead of the layup guy. So David Skog says, Tim Pool, he's always going to be the ultimate grifter for me. He got paid by the Kochs to do a report from my country a couple years ago. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. He's calling someone else a grifter. I mean, I want to have that. I want to have that on fucking loop.
Watch people suffer if it gives them a few extra bucks. That's Ethan Klein.
That's also Tim.
You know what?
That's also Tim. That's also Tim. So anyways, yeah, that was that was special. That was actually that was I was giddy wanting to come on and talk about this because it shows these people for what exactly they are. And here again, Tim banned Sam Cedar from his show for being a grifter on the same day he hosted Steve Bannon, a man under investigation for embezzlement and fraud. So, yeah, it literally is just, oh, God. It is just so ridiculous. That's the thing too. Tim Pool also claims that Sam Cedar is blacklisted by a lot of podcast networks, but claims it's not because they're scared to debate him. But they never say why. They never say why. Well, it's not because we don't want to debate him. It's not because he got made a fool of Tim Pool, and you can argue whether he won against Charlie Kirk. I personally, watching it, thought he did. But that's always pretty that's a thing that's not always this person posted and said, "Hey, remember when people complaining about Sam Cedar and Ethan doing this to Crowdo had zero problems when Lauren Southern bombarded Destiny? Can we not pretend like the right isn't known for bombarding leftists or changing arguments on their shows? So far, according to the Quartering, number 1, jokes can be offensive. 2, bombarding and deception in debates is wrong. Sorry, all of Bloodsports. 3, demanding bigger names to debate you is also wrong. Almost all of the right-wing commentary. LOL, what is he doing?" And I said, let's remember that these people aren't intellectually honest. And they're not. I mean, and that's, to me, this is just, I knew it. And I think a lot of people on the left know it. But like, this is so staggering. People on the right have all but the most standing of stands. I mean, you have to fucking be in the Eminem video to be fucking this much of a stan. It's just absurd. Anyways. I don't know. I don't know what I did with it, but I'll have to look. I always have to do this. I thought that I had I thought that I had marked this on but it was a comment from Dan Errol. I think this one will bring it up. Yes. Dan Errol had a good point. And this happened after, because I've told this story before, but it was back when Christiosity went to MythCon. And there was a lot of discussion. Oh my God. What I laugh is all these, this tweet was deleted by the author. I swear to God, I think this is Vadim. If I remember right. And he's went through and deleted all of them. I said Dan Arrow was on point when he said that debates are actually useless. Being a good debater doesn't mean you're right, and it rarely, if ever, changes anything. Ask 10 creationists and 10 atheists who won the Ham versus Nye debate. And I think that's true. But these debates, when it comes to this, they're never about. It's about owning another person. It's not about. I mean, this isn't like a college debate where you have two teams and they have their points and they're going point to point to point to point. It's not that. It's not that at all. This is more of we want to see somebody get bloody. You know? And that's the reality of it. Oh, there it is. God damn it. I had the link there the whole time. So anyways, yes, that was entertaining. So I'm going to shift over a little bit. We're going to watch a few videos now. A couple on COVID. I saw this one. This one's from TikTok.
Timmy, you got me fucked up. All that anti-vax rhetoric, it's been around for hundreds.
He says, you got me fucked up. The vaccination hasn't been around long enough to be fully tested. I don't want to risk cancer in 5 years.
Hundreds of years. I'm going to talk about it and dissect it. Tell you why it's all bullshit. The bullet points you see here are what they used to say about the smallpox vaccine in the 19th century. Pause and read. And the exact same arguments came in for polio, measles, mumps, and rubella as those got rolled out too.
It's the same type of things. Claims of harm caused by vaccines. Like literally. It's absurd. It's absurd.
But before there were vaccines, there was something called inoculation. And that's something that deeply affected one of our founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin. This is an excerpt from Benjamin Franklin's autobiography where he talks about losing one of his sons. He didn't inoculate him against smallpox and he lost him. But of all the diseases mentioned here, we're still battling a lot of them. Like polio, measles, mumps, and COVID-19. So everything you're saying's been said for hundreds of years. And if you get it and spread it and someone dies, their blood's on your hands.
And that's pretty much true. And here's another one from TikTok.
The only proof we have that they died from the virus is a test that you clearly don't understand. Listen, the main test we have for whether they die from the virus is the fact that they are no longer sitting next to you watching telly in the living room. The chair is empty. They are dead. They were not dead before they started coughing, had a test that said they had COVID, and then fucking died. That's the main test. Is that not enough proof for you? A load of dead people? Look, I'm as thick as fuck. I can understand it. The test looks for evidence that the virus is there. You know, like DNA, that is only the virus. Or protein. Some of the other tests look for other things, but it's just looking for evidence it's there with the symptoms. You're not going to get a test that's got the virus going, it's me, I'm over here, I done it, I killed him, take me away, put the cuffs on there, Gov. If I go in the kitchen and see rat droppings, it's probably a rat.
Oh God. And that's literally, I mean, what this reminds me of is I posted, I forget what on it was on Facebook. It was around the whole stuff from, I don't know, I'm looking to see if I could find it, but oh crap, I don't know what I did with it. But basically, it was from God, Carl Sagan's A Candle in the Wind. A demon haunted world. A demon haunted world. Literally, like, I always say that Carl Sagan is one of my heroes, and I can keep that hero because he's dead. He said, I have a foreboding of an America, and he wrote this in 1994, roughly, for a book that came out in 1995, I believe. And he died in 95 or 96 or 97. He said, I have a foreboding of an America in my children or grandchildren's time when the United States is a service and information economy, where nearly all the manufacturing industries have slipped away to other countries, when awesome technological powers are in the hands of very few, hello Google and Apple, and no one represents the public interest, can even grasp the issues, hello Congress, when the people have lost the ability to set their own agendas or knowledgeably question those in authority, when they when clutching our crystals and nervously consulting our horoscopes, our critical faculties in decline, unable to distinguish between what feels good and what is true, we slide in almost without noticing back into superstition and darkness. The dumbing down of America is most evident in the slow decay of substantive content in the enormously influential media, and the 30-second sound bites, now down to 10 seconds or less. Lowest common denominator programming, credulous presentations on pseudoscience and superstition, but especially a kind of celebration of ignorance. And that is the American fucking way. But it reminds me that this isn't about facts, and the whole the stuff with the he was so on point about how this comes about, how these people believe in fucking QAnon, how these people believe in this conspiracy bullshit, and that's exactly what it is. By the way, some random geek, this is for you.
Don't overthink this. Look in my eye.
I can't play the song. Oh, it's honestly, landlords just hoard property. We'd be better off seizing it from them and giving it to the unhoused. And there's a song that this goes with. It says, but what happens about the people who took the financial risk? Like, I give a shit. We're going to go through a bunch of TikToks here. This one I found interesting. Wage theft versus other property crimes. Look at this. Wage theft is up there. Up here. And this is larceny, burglary, auto theft, and robbery in the billions. It's greater than 19 billion. By the way, you want to remember that
millionaires and billionaires provide nothing of value to humanity. Every resource and service available to the wealthy should be available to everyone else.
Yup. Oh, by the way.
Wow, we have great news tonight in Buffalo, New York, where it looks like a socialist will become the mayor of Buffalo. A reporter asked, "Do you consider yourself a socialist?" And India Walton responded, "Oh, absolutely."
I wonder how this she's going to be targeted.
The entire
there's a socialist that's in the legislature in, I believe, Portland or Seattle. Anyways,
intent of this campaign is to draw down power and resources to the ground level and into the hands of the people. It is great to see a politician like this openly considering themselves a socialist. This is great news for the left. I'm sure Democratic Socialist Bernie Sanders is smiling and very happy about this. Expect to see good things coming out of Buffalo, New York.
hopefully, but it's just, to me, I sit there and think about this, and I always think about, like, it kind of reminds me of how America fought communism and then says, communism didn't work. Like, you fucking planned it not to work. You fought against it for, I mean, there's a thing called the Cold fucking War. America goes around the globe basically restricting other people from their own kind of experiment with government. And then says, it doesn't work. No shit, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because you made it not work. You fought against it. And that's what I wonder is, how long is this person going to be, how long is it going to be before they're targeted? Anyways, we shall see. If it happens, we'll bring it to you. Not live. So we're going to move on a bit. And this is a TikTok of one of my favorite black creators on TikTok called The Luncheon Lawyer.
Ever since black people got the right to vote, racists have been trying to take it away. Arguments in support of the filibuster are this: if we eliminate the filibuster, then the modern day conservatives will be able to pass anti-voting laws. I'm sorry, is that not already happening? That goal not already being propelled forward by the GOP, preventing bills like the For the People Act to pass an act seeking to give people more access to voting? I understand. Both Democrats and Republicans have used the filibuster to their advantage, and still I say to you, the filibuster has been used way more as a tool to further white supremacy than as a shield to protect communities of color. The filibuster was used to stop the OG anti-lynching bill from passing and was used to stop an investigation into the January 6th tourist visit to the Capitol. Combine that with the filibuster's racist history, its roots in Jim Crow, you start to understand why the filibuster must be dismantled.
But you also kind of understand why Democrats aren't. Because they don't really give a shit. They're more about making performative I don't know if you guys remember this. Do you remember this? They're more about doing performative bullshit like this. Than anything else. Than actually having fucking laws that are going to change anything.
I just saw this really great video. I'll tag the original creator below, but it was about how, like, white people will take things that weren't a microaggression and make it one. Like when a black person will be like, if you're white, don't call me cis. And then immediately the comments are flooded with people making a point of calling them cis. Or the Black Barbie thing, in which black women were just like, it's a little weird that white women are at the top of this sound for black women. And then white women made a point of singing along to it. Like, it was never really just about a song or just about the word cis, but now it's definitely not. Now it's about the utter, like, joy and maliciousness y'all carry when you get to violate the boundaries of people of color. White women are so frequently guilty of the same things they accuse white men of, it's not even funny. Like, white women love to talk and joke about how men who don't have power in their real lives love to be incels online. Y'all do the same thing. You do the exact same thing. You just punch down on women of color.
Jordan Joan P is saying, is it just me or is anyone else getting buffering issues? I don't know, but if you're having buffering issues, you might try one of the other streams. You can do it on Twitter. You can do it. You can go to Marty Abernathy on Twitter. You will find the streams there. There's multiple places that you can get it. So yeah, this whole thing, like on TikTok, it's been interesting, like, because this one black girl came out and said, I don't like white people. And you would think, I mean, white people just went apoplectic. That, how dare you say that? So, and she mentioned Black Barbie. I wanted to play this.
Joy and maliciousness y'all carry when you get to violate the boundaries of people of color.
Adding to the conversation, there is a phenomenon on this app in which we treat white women as if they are innocent school children incapable of understanding what's going on. A lot of detractors have come on this app and said it's just a song. They just wanted to sing a cute little song. Okay, even if we go with that premise. After the first white woman sang the song and then black people expressed uncomfortability, do you think the second, third, fourth, 50th white woman was just singing a song? They didn't know what was going on. Women get on this app every day and say that your ancestors were the way you're trying to bite off black culture, black hair, black nails, black songs. You looking mighty ancestor-ish. To me, the creator that I Duetted stated so beautifully, it was never about the word sis. It was never about a song. It was about you seeing that it made black people uncomfortable and you going forward maliciously and intentionally. White women who said Black Barbie, the white women who kept saying sis when a black person said, don't call me sis, understood what the fuck was going on. And you insult our intelligence trying to make us think otherwise.
And that's what it's about. A lot of times, when I'm on Black TikTok and I've seen these posts, I really do, like, a lot of them I don't comment on because I just want to sit back and listen and learn. Because you will get white people that will ask really stupid questions and things that they shouldn't ask.
I'm going to start this with a reminder that my Venmo's in my bio because it's getting a little bit exhausting. It is wild to me that this question of why do we have to use different terms?
This says, honest question, why can't we all use lesbian terms? Why different language for black versus white? Teaching moment. And I think what she's talking about, there are specific terms for black lesbians that really shouldn't be used by white lesbians. Again, it's a matter of white people having this idea that they should have access to everything. And I
really only comes up when white people are told that they can't use a term that was created by black people for black people. Historically, the English language.
This is what they're talking about is the word stud, because it comes out of black lesbianism, and basically they've said they don't want white lesbians using it.
Which was created to represent white people. So marginalized communities have created terms to identify themselves within their own community or within communities where they are again marginalized. And it becomes this thing, well, why can't we use it? Or why does it have to be used at all? Representation matters. Being able to safely identify who we are matters. Being able to have something that lets us know that we are seen for who we are matters. That's why. And it doesn't matter if you don't get to use it, it still gets to be used. It's not about division, it's about representation. We have to find it our own way. And this is one way that we did it.
And like, what this makes me think of, I kind of think, is this because of colonization? Do white people have, I mean, when you think of privilege, when you know about how privilege works, and we have privilege because of the way things are handed down through white supremacy, basically. And when you realize that, I just had this moment where I was like, is this, because if you think back how the attitude used to be back before, the 1950s and before, that there were things people that colonized this nation, well, colonized the United States, colonized it and said, this is something that you don't have. It's for us. You can't be here anymore. This is ours. And there's always been a sense, I think, ingrained in white culture since that point, that white people should be able to use everything at their disposal. Everything is for white people. And I do wonder if it's like kind of like an echo of white supremacy because of colonization. And bringing up colonization, I love this.
It's 2021. Are we still calling people colonizers?
I mean, y'all still colonizing. Taking property using eminent domain, colonizing. Going to some exotic land and buying up all the property so that you can vacation in, and ultimately raising the property value so that the native people can no longer afford property there, colonizing. Coming back to a city that everybody divested from and left all the black people there to fend for themselves, just to bring up luxury apartments, and now the people that were born and raised there can no longer afford to live there, colonizing. Taking someone's intellectual property and rebranding it as your own, colonizing. Taking somebody else's culture and creating a business from it for you to make money, colonizing. Raising the rent on businesses that have been in a place for over a decade just so that, you know, the coffee shops and fusion restaurants can come in, colonizing. Colonizing in 2021 is just being done with money instead of violence. So if you don't want to be called a colonizer, stop colonizing.
That is so on point. So on point. Also, has anyone noticed that Republicans are they're all about free speech, but when it comes to critical race theory, that it needs to be banned. It needs to be banned.
What's the main reason a lot of people are saying that they don't want critical race theory taught to their children? What I personally have noticed the most is that people are saying that it is harmful to white children, that it will be harmful to the white population to have critical race theory taught. How swift have these legislators picked up their pen to pass these laws to ban such teachings? Now parallel that to the parents of marginalized children or disabled children or trans children telling these same legislators the things that are harmful to their children. How fucking fast do they move then?
They don't give a fuck.
How many of these parents are still waiting for laws to get passed to benefit their children? If that's not proof that we live in a white supremacist society, then I don't know what to tell you.
So on point. In fact, those legislators are actually punishing trans kids. Punishing. To me, this is always something that should give us an idea of.
Let me explain intersectionality to you, because it's clear that some people on this app don't understand what that means. That means we aren't free until all of us are free. That means we fight for Black rights, Pacific Islander rights, Native rights, Latinx rights, Asian rights, Muslim rights, Palestinian rights, Jewish rights. We fight for every marginalized group. That means the LGBTQIA plus community, trans rights. We do not fat shame people. We do not slut shame sex workers. Why don't we do this? We don't do this because sex workers are abused, murdered, raped on a regular basis, because as a society, we have normalized the shame around sex work. We have normalized that. It is rape culture. We fight for people with disabilities. Did you know my museum, my portable museum bus, every time we set it up, we have to take every display off of the bus. We set up tables, we put tablecloths on the tables, we set up the banners, then we have to take the glass cases off of the bus, we have to take all the artifacts out, set them up. This is a 2-hour process. And the reason we do this is because a wheelchair cannot fit on the bus. Would it be easier just to put all the displays on the bus? Correct. But if one kid in a wheelchair cannot fit on that bus, then no kids are allowed on the bus. If your civil rights are not intersectional, your civil rights are trash. Period. Period. End of story. I strive to be intersectional. What does that mean? That means I'm not even there yet. That means I make mistakes. That means every video you see doesn't have captions on it. That's not okay. No one is perfect in their intersectionality, but you need to know the basics. And the basics are that we fight for everyone. You can't stand up for Black rights and then use the R slur towards people with disabilities in your next breath. Bunch of rookies out here.
So this reminded me of something. Let's see if this will actually work. Because I recently made TikTok on it.
This mentality is why
let's see. I have 7 comments here, but I'm not gonna look at them. I want to. Okay. I think it was. I think it was this one. Yes. So
You stumped me. I don't even know what to say.
this one says, it says, this was with Chris Crocker. Chris Crocker actually was going on about he didn't want to talk about, he hinted that he didn't want to talk about the Palestinian conflict. And I was like, no, if you can't talk about it, then you need to fucking raise voices of people that can. And I said this. This is funny.
You stumped me. I don't even know what to say.
Oh, because this guy, I want to give you context. It says you can't just share if you have no value or feedback on the original post. That's the problem we have. Everyone spits out word vomit, even if untrue.
You stumped me. I don't even know what to say to this comment. You said I can't share. You said you can't just share if you don't have any original value or input from the previous post. First off, what? I'm going to give you a break because I don't think English is your first language, or if it's not, then you may have some difficulties. But just because you didn't find value in my comments doesn't mean that I can't make them. Chris Crocker is someone that's saying something on social media. Therefore, you can comment. I'm a fan of his. I'm not a stan. I'm not going to agree with everything that he says. And this was a garbage take. I mean, I don't know what you're going on about word vomit. That's exactly what you've spouted out. If you don't like what I've said, stay mad. But if you're going to claim to be an LGBT activist or supporter or advocate, and you aren't intersectional in your activism, then your activism is shit. Chris Crocker doesn't have to speak on Palestine, but if he's intersectional, he will find other voices to elevate, to rise up and speak to, put their voices on a platform, have his audience hear their voice. Human Rights Watch called Gaza an open-air prison. And they also said that what Israel is doing is apartheid. So You don't like that people are speaking out about that? That's a you problem, not a me problem. Have the day you deserve.
So yeah, intersectionality, when you talk about intersectionality, you literally, you need to practice it. If you're in the LGBT community, you need to stand up for Palestinian rights. You need to speak anybody that's oppressed. Like like Lexi said, you might not get it perfect, but that's what you need to strive for. And something that is kind of tangential to this, Steve Shives made a video, which I'm going to play part of today, where he talks about Richard Dawkins. And you may think, well, what the fuck does this have to do with intersectionality? I'll talk about it in a minute.
But the reason that I stopped making videos about atheism related topics in the first place is because I got to a point where I realized there wasn't a whole lot else to say that hadn't already been said. And if it hadn't been said by me, then it had been said by other people. And I just didn't want to keep repeating myself. We refuse to just let it go. Dawkins, Sam Harris. I made a whole video about Sam Harris a couple years ago about what a prick he is, about what a bigoted asshole he is, and how it is so past time for us as an atheist community to let him go. We don't need him. There's not a single argument or a single point, a single valid bit of logic or science or philosophy that has ever come out of Sam Harris's fucking mouth that we cannot find somewhere else without the baggage. And that is exactly what we should do. But yet, somehow, for some reason, we don't. And we wonder why there are articles published in outlets like Salon with headlines that say things like how the atheist community was co-opted by the right wing. We wonder why people think, why would anybody think that the atheist community had been co-opted by the right wing? Why would anybody associate the atheist community with extremist politics? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe because two of our leading voices still, after all these years, are people like Dawkins and Sam Harris, who are transphobic, who are sexist, who are grossly, repugnantly Islamophobic. And yet we continue to push them out front and say, here, these are our guys. These are our guys. And we wonder why people outside the movement or people critical of the movement look in and say, oh, it's a little right-wing for my tastes. It's a little extremist for my taste. It seems like you guys are a little too eager to embrace or at least excuse reactionary politics.
And that's the thing. By the way, I suggest you go watch his entire video because it's fantastic. But like, when I sit there and think about it, I'm just like, God damn. Like I said, thanks for this, Steve. It's much where I'm at. I don't think we're alone. I can't be in a community that's filled with so much toxic masculinity, masked in anti-theism. Here's the thing. There are people that aren't that way. If you think of Ina at Polite Conversations or Christiosity, there's people in the community that are fantastic that don't have this baggage. But when people will sit there and they'll say, but why? By the way, I want to okay. I'm trying to get it at a point. Okay, there we go. Now it feels like he's giving us a hug. It feels Steve's giving us a hug now instead of the mad face that I had there at the end. But you have these people in a community that are not intersectional. They want to be supported by they want to talk about being a minority and how they're oppressed and everything, but yet they support transphobia, homophobia. I mean, and many of these people Seth Andrews, literally just lost their God. They're still conservative. They're still the same people that they were before they lost to Jesus. By the way, he's behind the couch. I found him. I found Jesus. He's behind the couch. That joke never gets old. Especially the cartoon. But yeah, like when it comes to Richard Dawkins, I've said there's a tale of two Dawkins. There is the brilliant biologist, but I have a video. I have a video from the other Richard Dawkins. And here it is.
Who's laughing now? Shut up.
It's like Grandpa Dawkins. Let's go back to Steve.
But the reason that I stopped.
I just want to put that on pause. But the reason I am not in the I don't consider myself in the atheist community is what has things that happen like in the community. I really loved ACA. And when the stuff happened with Rationality Rules, basically Rationality Rules was anti-trans. And if you want to see some good videos on that, go over to Essence of Thoughts YouTube channel, and you can see where she totally breaks it down. And like literally the guy is just, he's not going, it's not going on fact. Like when these people say trans women shouldn't be in sport, dude, you're not a scientist. You're some guy on the internet that makes fucking YouTube videos. There's literally people that are fucking physiologists that are literally like doctors, that not just doctors, but doctors that inform the International Olympic Committee. They know a bit more about the topic than you. And they've decided on certain things that trans women can play in sports and compete. You know? But when you have someone on like Rationality Rules, and then you come out and you say, we're sorry, the atheist community of Austin came out and apologized because it was transphobic what they had put on, and then Matt Dillahunty basically retracted that, and then there was basically they burned down the ACA as it was and made it into something else. And it's, to me, my opinion, it's a fucking grift machine for Matt Dillahunty. That's what it is now. All the people that disagreed with what happened, they're gone. Tracy Harris, gone. I mean, you can go down the line. I forget the guy's full name, but Phil. Not Hawthorne, but anyways, there was a bunch of people that had shows that just left, said, fuck this shit, I'm out, because it's anti-science. It's literally just rhetoric based on fucking transphobia. Thank you, Some Random Geek. Jordan John P said, I remember once the atheist community got so toxic for me that I was unsubscribing tons of YouTubers. That's what, in the end, like, they literally made, there were people that attacked other people that said that there should be social justice should be a part of the atheist community. It literally was a split. I don't know if y'all remember, but it was called Atheism Plus. And there were video after video after video after video saying Atheism Plus is bullshit. It should be God and God only, blah, 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 blah. That there is no God, blah, 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 blah. That's the only thing that it should be. And then they basically demonized Atheism Plus and ran people off and away from the movement that were intersectional. And then there's these fucking articles that come out all the time. Why isn't the atheist community? Why isn't it diverse? It's like you literally ran these people out on a fucking rail for an audience. Think about this. Matt Dillahunty is a fucking excellent example of this. When Lawrence Krauss was not convicted, but he was accused of some sexual indiscretions, Matt Dillahunty would not talk about it without being paid. He wouldn't come out publicly. You had to go behind you had to pay to see what his thoughts were on it. The guy had no problems getting on a platform with Jordan Peterson. It's all about the fucking grift. That's his job. He doesn't have a degree. He doesn't go and work at a fucking college. His job is being an atheist. And he has a crowd that he's playing to. And that literally destroyed what the atheist community of Austin was. It's not the same organization that it was before that happened. So, anyways, I want to move on. I really want to play a video that made me laugh. I was really excited tonight because I wanted to do the Crowder stuff, obviously, and I wanted to talk about Steve because Steve is one of the few liberals that I consider someone that I enjoy his content. I enjoy him so much that I will literally watch Star Trek content that I have. He makes it interesting enough that me, as someone that's a Star Wars person and has no interest in Star Trek, I've seen some of the Star Trek movies. I haven't seen any of the ones with Captain Picard. I saw a lot of episodes of TNG, and of the original series, but none of Deep Space Nine. I've seen Picard, the first 2 seasons of Picard, but I am not a Trekkie. But Steve makes it interesting and fun to watch. I'm sad that he hasn't brought back Steven and Stuffy and the Whirlpool, the stuff that he's doing now, the readings and stuff. I don't know. But he's brilliant. And his takes on this is, if it's not intersectional, who fucking cares? I don't. Jordan Joan P said, I had an ex-friend atheist who got so toxic I blocked him on everything social medias when I found out he made a transphobic video and learned he was an MRA. Speaking of MRAs, oh my God. So I saw this. It's from Herspective on TikTok. I thought this was good.
Stop dating toxic men!
Or you can stop yourself from talking to women that way. The reason why women get into toxic relationships is not because of a woman's lack of will or determination. It's because the psychological forces that a toxic man leverages against a woman to trap her in his toxicity are so potent that any woman across socioeconomic status, race, abilities, educational attainment, and ethnicities can be lured and trapped. Toxic men don't come with "I am toxic" on their forehead. They come with feigned niceness and a lot of manipulation tactics so they can prime and groom the women to give them second chances, a benefit of the doubt, forgiveness, and a lot of other good things a good human being has. The solution to the social phenomena of women dating toxic men isn't to tell women to stop dating toxic men. It's to make sure that there are no toxic men to begin with. So women can just date without having to worry about being taken advantage of. Women must have the right to date without having to worry about their emotional, psychological, and physical safety.
I thought that was dead on. And then I saw this and I was just like, holy Jesus. He spent $600 on a first date and all he got at the end of the night was, I had a great time. Thanks.
Hi, kids. Do you like violence? Because this video makes me want to stick 9-inch nails through each one of my eyelids. Women don't owe you anything. And I don't for a second believe that you would drop $600 on a woman. Not for a second. It doesn't even matter how much you did drop on her. She does not owe you sex. That's fucking gross, dude. Ew. None of these children stop and think like, maybe it's me. Okay, Taylor Swift. This is what you want to be known for? A whiny, sexist loser? Like, there's places you can go to pay for services.
Bam.
Shut up. It's definitely you, my guy.
And you could get a lot for that $600.
Do better. The desperation.
MRAs are the absolute worst. Absolute worst. Speaking of MRAs, this guy is a fucking incel, and oh my god, I can't.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but none of these female Twitch streamers actually like playing the games. Every single bit of it is acting.
I'm feeling Sargon energy here.
You do realize that the original Twitch community was all people who loved to play the games.
Maybe the quartering.
Now, the Twitch community is made up of big tits that you're coming for the tits instead of the game. What the fuck happened to Twitch? Literally. I'll take one for the team. I'll be this asshole male that's calling out all these female Twitch streamers because you know what? At the end of the fucking day, to have an OnlyFans advertised on Twitch, it's for fucking video games. You're fucking up the boys' shit. This is the only thing we had. The only thing we had. Now we don't even have Twitch because you dumb big-titted fucking thoughts want to take it from us and then act like you actually like the games. You don't like these games. Sit the fuck down.
This is the only thing we have. Oh god. This is all we have. We're so lonely. Oh my god. Is that not the fucking unbelievable. Oh god. That is like, you almost think that that's like a manifesto of somebody. David, they really should get out more. Yeah. Oh my god. You think that there's going to be like some manifesto that this person's going to write? It's like, Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Jordan Joan P. After the video, he died of a heart attack at 21. I think he died of loneliness. I think that's what he died of. But yeah, that was pretty fucking sweet. That was sweet. So we're sliding into the odds and ends. Yeah, let's watch that again. Oh, oh God.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but none of these female Twitch streamers actually like playing the games. Every single.
I think it's so funny. Like this is the type of guy that would say he's heterosexual but doesn't like women. When I say these are the kind of guys that would objectify women, they see them as, and a lot of cis women do not understand this, is that you can claim to be heterosexual and hate women because you see them as an object. So many guys will talk about, oh yeah, I got some pussy this weekend. Literally talking guys, at least cis-het white guys that I grew up around, they literally would talk about women like they were a conquest. They were something to have, not as people. It was never talked about. They were never talked about as people. They were talked about as conquests, as things to have, things to own, things to objectify. I want to play this again.
A little bit of it is acting. You do realize that the original Twitch community was all people who loved to play the games.
Oh God, yes. All those people that were worried about ethics in journalism and gaming journalism.
Now the Twitch community is made up of big tits that you're coming for the tits instead of the game.
How dare you guys like tits more than games? How dare you?
What the
I'm going to my basement and write my manifesto ASAP.
Fuck happened to Twitch? Literally. I'll take one for the team. I'll be this asshole male that's calling out all these female Twitch streamers because you know what, at the end of the fucking day, to have an OnlyFans advertised on Twitch, it's for fucking video games. You're fucking up the boys' shit. This is the only thing we had. The only thing we had. Now we don't even have Twitch because you dumb big-titted fucking thoughts want to take it from us and then act like you actually like the games. You don't like these games. Sit the fuck down.
By the way, if y'all missed it, you can watch me every Monday. Recently, this last Monday, I did play COD, and I am and I titled it, I am the worst COD player out there. COD, by the way, is Call of Duty, which I can't say Call of Duty without thinking of pooping. Yeah. I'm gonna save that for another show. This is some odds and ends. I saw this. There's a guy out there. His name is Loki. His stage name, he's a British rapper and activist from London, England. And like this post from him, it really vibed with me.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but none of these
people.
I think that partaking in the practice of hip hop made me stop listening to hip hop. I haven't listened to it for really many years. Listen to it anecdotally from time to time.
Why is that?
Partly because I feel that we have to build our own curriculums. We have to think critically about what it is that we're digesting and we're taking in. And it's been a kind of incremental development where the corporatization of hip hop has become more and more pronounced and more acute in that way. So I really want to protect myself from, exposing myself to detrimental ideas. And choosing what I want to listen to. I think we have, like I said, such an omnipotent relationship with information. You have to be clear about what information it is that you're going to welcome into your thought space. And I just don't view it really as essential for me to really expose myself to stuff that's being sold to me by these massive corporations.
Back in 89, 91.
It wasn't as much like that.
Pretty pure.
I mean, but then again, we come back into the idea of purity and authenticity.
But
can we say that something that is completely engineered in one way or another by corporate interest is inauthentic? It's authentic for what it is.
Right. But when Cube went solo and when Ice-T dropped his first couple albums, it was pretty much him and the mic, and it pretty much went to your ears.
Yeah, and they were less trying to sell you European cars and alcoholic drinks, you know.
Right.
There was less of that. It still existed, but to a far, far, far lesser extent. You know, these are adverts that people are listening to now. These are mantras that are being created in people's consciousness that are already adverts.
I thought that was spot on. By the way, like I said, this is the odds and ends part, so you're going to get a bunch of different stuff. Cuban scientists, here we go. I want you to remember that communism doesn't work. What are these people applauding? Oh, they're applauding Cuban scientists celebrating their COVID vaccine. 92%, 92.28% effective among the world's highest. Remember, communism doesn't work, folks. You literally can have the United States basically blockade and sabotage the communist government of Cuba, and they still come out with a fucking COVID vaccine that's one of the highest effective rates in the world. They have one of the only lung cancer vaccines. So yeah. Oh my God. Adam says, for fuck's sake, I'm going to Cuba. Well, yeah. David, there are no pure economies in the world, so you can have that argument all day long. I didn't know whether to put this in the comedy section because we're getting ready to slide into the comedy, palate cleanser. This is definitely not a palate cleanser, but this is Tony Perkins talking about surviving the onslaught of Pride Month. This is from Right Wing Watch. Fucking hilarious. By the way, if you want this stuff, go to Right Wing Watch. Put it in your RSS reader if you have one.
Good evening and welcome to Pray Vote Stand. I'm your host, Tony Perkins, president of the Family Research Council. Tonight, surviving the rainbow onslaught. When you can't turn on the television, shop for cereal, or scroll through Facebook without being hit over the head with LGBT pride, how should Christians respond? Thanks to woke corporate America and
woke corporate America. Woke corporate America is ending our country. Oh my God, what will we ever do?
the most radical administration in history, there's no escaping the left's forced sexual.
The most radical? No, that wasn't that wasn't FDR. You know, Social Security. Nah, it's Biden.
Revolution. What does the Bible say about confronting the culture's rebellion? How did we get to the point where celebrating sex and transgenderism became a 30-day event that rivals Christmas?
Rivals Christmas? I haven't got my pride gifts. I haven't seen my queer tree. But maybe we ought to go there.
We have a president who's flying the rainbow flag above the U.S. flag at our embassy.
Wait. First off, this is a flag. Right? This is not a flag. This is not a flag. It's a big fucking poster. It's not a flag. It's not on the flagpole. It's not a flag. Oh, God. These people will go to any length.
The rainbow flag above the U.S. flag at our embassies. Democratic Congress that thinks the military should salute pride on base, and a White House that brags almost 14% of its 1,500 appointees are LGBT. You can't blame people for wondering, when did we become identified by our sexual proclivities?
Our sexual proclivities.
The world is upside down when American pride is something we should apologize for.
American pride, you know, where we go around the world telling other people what to do. Yeah, we can tell other countries like Iran not to have nukes, but we can kill 250,000 people. You know, but we don't need to apologize. We can put people in fucking camps. The Japanese internment camps. We don't need to apologize for that. We don't need to apologize for the kids in cages. Nah.
But sexual perversion is the stuff of parades.
Parades. Sexual perversion. Oh my God. They can't stand it. They're so oppressed.
Just a few decades ago, these activists said all they wanted was recognition, autonomy.
People have been having fucking pride since 1972. Started with the Christopher Street.
Coexistence. Now a handful.
And no one's forcing you to go to pride. No one's forcing you to do anything.
Of years after Obergefell, it's not enough to leave them alone with their choices. They demand validation, affirmation, celebration.
Oh my God, no. No. We can't celebrate people living the life that they want to live. God forbid. It actually does forbid. I want to break in. Because I had to. I want to play a TikTok real quick. Because, like, literally, I was gonna save this, but
Alexa, what does demisexual mean?
Nope, we're not doing that. So view profile. This made me laugh. So oh, let's go back. Let's go back. I have never met a person who accepted Christ and regretted it, ever. Makes you think there might just be something to it.
Is this supposed to be comedy? Because it's funny as shit. I mean, I have plenty of regret of not living the life that I should have been living for, 40 years. Regret that I indoctrinated my own children with lies and deceit in the form of finding Jesus. By the way, he's behind the couch. There's plenty of things that religion makes you, especially Christianity, makes you regret. I've been an atheist for the past 20 years, and guess what? That is what I don't regret. I've never had one regret at all. Had a lot of anger when you think you're going to live forever, and then you realize that you're not. That's a hard pill to swallow. But you're funny. I'll give you that.
Excuse me, David, but I was outside and I was talking and no one was around me. I pull that bitch up if anybody is around me at all. Anyways. So, yeah.
Pride is the new religion.
I'm one of the few people that wears their mask outside anyways.
And everyone...
I do it for multiple reasons, but I want to normalize mask wearing, period. People are saying, oh, I can't wait till we don't have to wear masks anymore. I think it ought to be fucking... You want people to die of the flu? Like they're literally thousands of people that die of the flu. Guess what? That's not happening these days. Hardly at all. Because people are wearing masks. But anyways, I digress. Let's go on with this comedy.
One must bow a knee to their sexual gods.
Sexual gods. Oh my God. I used to get kind of hot under the collar when I thought of, is it Syncubus? Yeah. Syncubus. They would call you from ships to the water to dive in. How horny did you have to be back in the day to think some manatees? Because that's what the Syncubus, they realized that they were actually manatees. How long have you had to go without sex to think, oh, that manatee looks hot? Yeah, Syncubus and Sirens, I believe, are close. David Skog, if I'm brave enough, I'll post a picture when I got my first shot. I look like a fucking parody. My beard, oh my God. So yeah, sexual gods. Yes, Jordan Joan P. That's hilarious.
Or face the left's fiery furnace.
The fiery furnace. The left's fiery furnace. Instead of the hellfire god, fire and brimstone. If you don't love Jesus, I love you so much that I'm going to make you burn for eternity. I love you that much. I sent my own son to die for 3 days and then, become a zombie for you. And if you don't accept that, then you're going to fry forever because I love you. Seems rational.
Is it just me, or is it almost like a neon sign that this is called Pride Month?
It's just you, Tony.
The very thing that when we read throughout Scripture is the downfall of man.
The downfall of man is Pride Month.
Is pride. It's almost as if, as I prayed a few moments ago about shaking a collective fist in the face of God.
Oh, God. Like, you have to wonder, like, how these people keep a straight face saying this bullshit. And if they believe it, how fucking sad is that?
You wonder if the spiritual forces behind Pride Month have tipped their hand.
It's the ghost. It's the ghost. It's the queer ghost. It's a queer demon. He's coming in my soul and he's telling me to do these things on the microphone. I blame Jesus. Oh, wait. No, I blame Satan. It reminds me of, there was you can go to YouTube. The Devil Made Me Do It. There was a comedian that used to dress up, and he had his name was Flip Wilson, and he had this female character that used to say, "The devil made me buy this dress." But yeah, so it's a demon. Jordan Joan P says, is Ruby Rose and Elliot Page one of the sexual gods he's talking about? These people, they're a parody in and of themselves. By the way, this is that was definitely fucking comedy. I think the females ruined Twitch. That was pretty comedic in and of itself. I thought this was pretty funny too.
Saying things like "eat the rich" is allegory. It should never be taken seriously. The last capitalist we eat will be the one who sold us the grill.
Now this next one, I have to turn. Speaking of religion, This comes from an artist, and this Ryan Starr on TikTok is talking about this, and I think, excuse me, I think it's got captions. I'm pretty sure it does. So this is Matthew West. He's literally a rapper. That's a Jesus rapper, a Christian rapper. It says, also, who grew up listening to Matthew West and his ilk on Christian radio, I can confidently say this is the worst thing I've ever heard in my whole life. If I catch you doing dances on TikTok in a crop top, so help me God. Hold on. Let me see it. I want to see if I can play this. I want to see if I can just play it a little bit at a time, maybe.
Please say this is the worst thing I've ever.
If I catch you in a crop top, you'll be grounded till the world stops.
Heard in my whole life.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. Cause modest is hottest, the latest fashion trend.
The modest is hottest. So you have that little bit that we can go through the rest of the lyrics. A little more Amish, a little less Kardashian. What the boys really like, or what the boys really love, is a turtlenecks and a sensible pair of slacks. Oh dear. Oh no. God damn it. If I catch you doing dances on TikTok in a crop top, so help me God, you'll be grounded till the world stops. Just kidding. No, I'm not. Because modest is hottest. The latest fashion trend. Hold on. We have to fucking go look this up. Modest is hottest. We got to see the lyrics on this. Modest is hottest. Doesn't this guy look like a rapper? I mean, my God. Here we go. Dear daughter, it's me, your father. I think it's time we had a talk. The boys are coming around because you're so beautiful, and it's all your mother's fault. I've been trying hard to raise you right. No drinking, no smoking, no swearing. But your old man's got a little more advice. When it comes to clothes you're wearing, listen. Modest is hottest, the latest fashion trend. It's a little more Amish, a little less Kardashian. What the boys really love is a turtleneck and a sensible pair of slacks. Honey, modest is hottest. Sincerely, your dad. God, this doesn't even fucking rhyme. If I catch you on TikTok doing TikTok, doing dances on TikTok in a crop top, so help me God, you'll be grounded till the world stops. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Because modest is hottest, the latest fashion trend. Is a little more Amish, a little less Kardashian. All the parents be saying their prayers that all the girls be wearing more layers. Mom and dads around the world, yeah, they're on their knees. Lord, make them more like Jesus and less like Cardi B. I don't know. I'm thinking some of the girls would rather be more like Cardi B and have a WAP. No offense to Cardi B. I'm sure she's a really nice girl and Jesus loves her, but I just think modest is hottest, the latest fashion trend. Oh my God. For a community that really, I mean, you look at Matthew West, at who he is. like the guy was born in 77. So he's 44 years old. He's basically hopping on any fucking trend. That's what these Christian artists do. They hop on music trends, basically copying them. And here's a fucking picture at him at the fucking Grand Ole Opry. This guy's not a rapper. You know, they literally just thieve off of popular culture because they can't say don't do this, don't engage in this culture. We're going to give you a Jesusified culture that, and Christians have been doing this for fucking ever. That's why Christmas exists. Christmas exists because there were pagan holidays and Christians had to compete with that. They can't compete, so they have to have this fucking product that's just like it. By the way, if you watched this show last time, I had the one with the giraffe going down on the pole. There's a trans girl on TikTok that did a remake of that, which I thought was fucking funny as shit.
Yes, I did that. And you were doing too, per check. I was gonna get employee of the month, and that's on period.
Okay. I have one more in the palate cleanser section. And I saved this for last, and it made me laugh the hardest, and I'm probably gonna laugh at this again. Not just at the video itself, but it's pretty fucking funny.
Nick Adams actually posted this real meme about
Nick Adams. Critical race theory has no place in America. Blaming him for slavery, this little baby, this little white baby, is like blaming her for Pearl Harbor.
critical race theory. And I just have to say that I will blame babies for whatever the fuck I want. Babies are stupid.
No, I thought that was funny as shit, and it made me laugh my ass off. But that was just the start of it. Like every time I watched it, I fucking laughed. But that was literally just the start of it. I'm going to try to bring up this program. Here we go. Babies are lazy and don't pay taxes. The real enemies of America. They need bootstraps. Babies are Sigma males. Babies did 9/11. Osama bin Baby. Babies burned the Library of Alexandria. Babies contribute nothing to society, and they never have. They are government leeches. They don't even have jobs. Sounds lazy to me. You could literally ask a baby if they're a bad person, and will they deny it? No. End of discussion. Oh, exactly. and they never said anything in response. It's like they're hiding something. My niece would look at you and just giggle or go, mm-hmm. Oh, God. Babies watched the first and second plane about to hit the Twin Towers and did absolutely nothing to stop either one. Oh, God. Silence all babies. As a baby, I am offended. Goo, goo, gaga, Roma, Roma, ma. So shit, you just turned into Lady Gaga. Somebody said, I've never lost a debate with a baby. Oh, God. Babies stare a lot for people who can't fight. Babies stare a lot for people who can't fight. Oh, babies cause global warming. Nobody can tell me I'm wrong. Oh, God. What have babies done for me? Huh? Nothing. Jordan. Oh, my God. Hitler was once a baby. Cancel babies. Babies make Marty cough. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Fucking babies. It's their fault for not telling us to stop. They don't even pay bills. Damn babies. What about the children? What about the babies? Anyways. So I do watch. There are some good things that come off of TikTok. It's not just negative stuff. And I saw this. I thought this was good.
Over 20 million people in this country live in food deserts. Do you know what those are? Places where food is only available at spots like McDonald's and 7-Elevens, like convenience stores and things. And getting healthy food means going all the way to a grocery store, which is not in your neighborhood. So it takes hours or miles and miles to actually get there. A great way to bring healthy food into these neighborhoods is by starting community gardens, places where community members can grow their own food. If you have a spot for one already, it takes about $1,000 to cover the lumber, tools, seeds, and soil needed to get one going, and from there it's volunteer, so they're pretty easy to start. I figure we as a platform have done a thing or two in the past, and we can fundraise a bunch of money to start as many as we possibly can. Now, we've capped donations at $1, so the only way to help beyond that is getting more people involved. No one is getting paid for this, myself included. 100% of it is going to people that want to start community gardens, so hop in and give your dollar at the link in my bio.
So I thought that that was pretty cool. And I'm not blaming babies for not having a community garden. But I wanted people, I'm going to leave people with this tonight. This is from Comrade Sparkles and Comrade Cuddles, Comrade Thanos. Those are some of the names these went by. He said this, and I think it is pretty spot on.
I want you to look me in the eye this entire video and tell me if you think I'm lying.
He says, the person asks, are anarchists comrades?
Hell yes, anarchists are comrades. And you know why? Because ain't nobody fucking rocking with us the way anarchists are rocking with us, and vice versa. And despite my vehement disagreement that anarchists lack revolutionary theory, Ain't nobody else as serious about tearing down these oppressive systems as anarchists and MLs. Ain't nobody rocking with anarchists the way MLs are rocking with anarchists and vice versa. Not Democrats, not socialists, not progressives, not liberals. We all we got. Anarchists and MLs are joined at the hip till death do us part, because we are all doomed souls. Solidarity.
I get chills when I watch that because it's true. It literally is true. Think of, I mean, even people in the DSA. What will they when anarchists are at protests and stuff like that? Are they ever supportive? No. So we can argue about theory, and we can argue about tactics and all these things, but it's good to remember who your allies are, who your comrades are, and what that means. We are all doomed souls. So, anyways, thank you guys. I loved doing this show tonight. It was something that I really enjoyed. This is the kind of show that I really like because it has kind of a tone to it. There was a mix of stuff, but this is the kind of stuff that I like to do. But I thank you guys for coming. Our next show is going to be on Saturday. I have no clue on what we're doing. I'm still clearing my throat from the babies. After thank you, David. Thank you. What I do when I put a show together today, I spent a lot of time editing the Louder with Crowder stuff because I wanted to show people, give them context for who this person is and how debate bros, like, they are not, they aren't honest in their, they don't want to debate. They want a circus. They want eyeballs. They want a circus. They want to hurt people. That's all it is. That's all it is. And you see it. When you see stuff like this, you see them for exactly what they are. David said, on Saturday, it's probably dancing time. Well, all the time it's dancing time, especially if you're a baby. But I will see, by the way, if you want to, Jordan Joan P. I said, thanks for this one, Marty. I kind of want to start a community garden. And look in your area too, because there's a lot of areas, especially in the UK, that do have. David said, solidarity, only word that matters. That is spot on. But if you want to help people out, you want to help some of our brothers and sisters out, go to charitylinks.page. It's something that's curated by a few people. Sam Random Geek is the founder of it. And you can help our brothers and sisters out and NBs out that are in need of help. Go to charitylinks.page. Also, remember on Sunday that there will be a social justice alchemy. I think there's going to be one this weekend. There better be. I never do look. I never do look at my schedule. Yeah, I am actually working. So it may be an abbreviated show, but we're going to definitely have one on Saturday. And I have a couple days to work on it. So Thank you all for coming. I appreciate everything that you do. Solidarity. We're all we got.